God told me to quit my job, y'all. Like, man, what I tell you, I mean, I always said I wanted to retire, you know, in my 30s. So here I am. Oh Lord, yeah, it's been a journey, y'all. It really is, and I'm still on it. I'm just at the tip of the iceberg, you know, like literally a faith walk. When I tell you it's a faith walk, it's all facts, okay? But let me backtrack. So I've been a dental assistant for like 15 years, okay? I've loved it. I've always loved dentistry. Like, teeth, that's my thing. It's what I love. And I wanted to be a dentist, you know? I really did. I thought I was going to go to school, be a dentist, and that's how my life was going to go. However, I was not great at chemistry, even, you know, back in undergrad, hell pit. I was not great at chemistry. So, you know, that kind of squandered that there. But later down the line, you know, I figured I could just go back and take some classes. So in like 2021, like fall 2021, I decided I would go back to Pitt and take some prerequisite classes, you know, get my chemistries and stuff out the way. I needed chemistry and biology, I think, but I was like, I'll start with chemistry and see what happens. So I enrolled in classes, started taking chemistry. Come to find out, I'm just as terrible this time around as I was the last time I took chemistry. So it was a no-go. But and plus I was still working full-time. So working full-time and trying to make it into class, like, it was just a headache. And then trying to find parking in Pittsburgh, okay, it's terrible. All right. So it just wasn't working out. And I really didn't want to do terrible the second time around. I really wanted to make sure if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right and I'm gonna do it well. Since that wasn't happening, I went ahead and withdrew from my classes, you know. The unfortunate part is, even though I withdrew, I still had to pay for those classes. Like, that, you know, sucked. But really, you know, blessing in disguise, I guess. Well, not a blessing paying for it, but just the way everything happened. So, you know, people would always ask me, like, well, what are you doing getting back in school? And I'd be like, yeah, girl, you know, I'm gonna get back. But, you know, I got to pay off these student loans first. I'm gonna pay this down and then I'll re-enroll. Then I'll start over, you know. And I guess part of that was true. Initially, I thought that's what I was going to do. But the longer I was out of school, the more I started thinking, like, okay, am I really going to do this? Do I really want to go back? Do I really want to put myself through that again? Can I do it? You know, like, and do I want to pay all over again? Really? Because, shoot, that stuff ain't cheap. But I didn't tell everybody else that. I was just like, you know, I'm going to get back. So this is probably like, I withdrew sometime in like November or December 21, and I knew I wasn't gonna re-enroll like in that spring semester because I would have started in January, and I was not about to be trying to trek all the way down to Pitt in the middle of winter, so that wasn't gonna happen. So I figured, you know what, I'll re-enroll in like the next fall semester, you know, whatever, which would have been like fall 22. I'm telling you, during the 8-month time period from like, I guess when I withdrew in like November 21, from that time to probably about July 22, it was just like a whole time period where I was really just really reflective and trying to see what my next was going to be. What did I want to do next? Where do I want to go? Do I still want to be a dentist? Do, you know, if I do, what does that look like? What do I have to do to get there? And I just was kind of uncertain. But the one thing I knew for sure is I did not want to still be an assistant at 40. And no, I'm not 40 now, but I know how fast time goes. So I know I needed to make whatever move I was going to make, or figure out what that next move was going to look like soon, you know, so that I didn't just stay complacent. That's the word I'm looking for. I didn't want to stay complacent. I knew that much. So I started, you know, reading books that were just talking about believing bigger and talking about, you know, we can all be millionaires, and just, I don't know, it was just different encouraging books that kind of get your mind thinking outside the box and like thinking about the other things that you may be good at, or just, you know, what else God has in store for you. You know, maybe dentistry just isn't it. So I was reading this one book. It's by Marshawn Evans Daniels, and it's called Believe Bigger. I love this book, by the way. Read it. It's good. Anyways, I was reading that book, and she like urges you to ask God like 2 pivotal questions, you know, when you feel like you're in this transition period. And the first question was, Lord, what are you already doing? Like, what are you already doing in my life? that I might not be seeing. And the second one was, where do you need me now? So I was like, okay, you know, so I wrote that down in my journal, you know, and didn't think much of it. That was like beginning of July. But boy, that's when stuff started to change. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. It's like the moment I got curious about who I am and what I want and what's next and what God wants for me, like the moment I got curious about that, the more God began to reveal himself to me and reveal, you know, the plans that he had for me. And then the more he would reveal, the more curious I got. And it just was like this whole cycle, and it's continuing today, you know, still. But yeah, as soon as that curiosity got piqued, everything started to shift, you know. So at the same time, July 22, the office I was working at, was expanding. So, you know, they were getting a new building or whatever, and we were allowed to all kind of do a walkthrough and check it out. And everybody's like so excited and so like, oh my gosh, you know, this space is so big, it's gonna be so nice. And I'm there and I'm checking it out, like, yeah, it's nice. But like deep inside, like it was weird because I could kind of feel this sense of like, almost like nostalgia. That's the best way I can describe it, because it felt like I was checking out a place that I already wasn't a part of, like that I already wasn't gonna be there for, you know. And that's when it's like I heard God say that in my spirit, just like, you know, you're not gonna be here for this next, like this next part, this next journey that they about to be on, you're not gonna be a part of that, you know. And I heard it then, and I even went home and told my husband that, because I'm like, isn't that weird? Like, you know, but I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because like I said, at the point, I'm like, I need to know what I'm going to do. What's the next move? You know, is it here? Is it there? Where? But like I said, God dropped that in my spirit. So I was like, okay, I just kind of tucked it away. But the moment he said that, it's like he started revealing to me, again, making his word clear. And I'm like one of those people where I'm like, Lord, okay, if you're talking to me, you got to make it plain. Like, make it plain, okay? Because I don't want to miss it. And he started doing just that, and he was confirming his word through his word mainly, but he would go and confirm it through my pastors, or he would confirm it through other encouragers online, you know, faith-filled encouragers online. And it was just blowing my mind how things were starting to align, and how he was just kind of showing me who I am, and, you know, bringing back to my remembrance things he had said to me years ago that I didn't even focus on, never even thought about, because I was laser focused on dentistry. Like, that's it, that's all I ever wanted to be since I was 5 years old. Like, that's what it was. And God's like, I got some other stuff for you to do, you know. I got some other stuff. And me, I'm like, okay then. Like, let me pack my bags, let me get ready to go, let's do this, you know. So yeah, it's been a journey. Like, it really, really has been a journey. And like I said, I'm just at the beginning right now, but I want to document it before anything even happens. Like, I want to document it from the jump, because I know it can help somebody else. I know I'm not the only one where God is calling out into unknown situations, you know, that's calling you out to really do a full-blown faith walk. You don't know what's out there next. You don't know what your next step looks like, but he's asking you to step out on obedience. I'm in the middle of it, okay? Actually, I'm at the beginning of it. But I will tell you, even now, it's worth it. I'm so excited to see what God does in my life. Like, I'm so excited. And I'm like, dude, who gets like so excited and you don't know what's next? Like, I have no idea what my next looks like, but I'm so excited for it because I know who holds my next. I know that the plans he has for me, they'll outdo anything I ever thought of or ever came up with on my own. And I rest in that. Like, I rest in that full-heartedly. And the thing that comes to my mind right now is funny. Luke 1:45, it says, blessed is she, or she's blessed because she believes. Basically, she's blessed because she believes. And I take that to heart, because I might not know what my next step is. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm blessed because I believe the Lord's going to do what he said. I believe him. And I'm going to share this with y'all so you can see how he comes through and does exactly what he says he's going to do. So be encouraged, y'all. Hang in there.